solution that is going to help people and not just businesses see tomorrow?
Well, we're not going to get to a successful solution unless people understand the problem. So I wouldn't, downplay awareness and its importance, really helping people get a clear analysis of this. There are organizations at the community level who are working really hard to try to stop foreclosures in their communities, working very hard to try to get loans restructured rather than have homes repossessed. Jesse Jackson has been in the lead here. Organizations like NACA, ACORN, the National Coalition on Community Reinvestment, the National Center for Responsible Lending, the Consumer Federation of America. A lot of people are speaking out. The PERG organizations are trying to do something about student loans, which is a massive problem. But the move-ons have not really addressed this issue. Unfortunately, people who are just tailing after the Democratic Party are not confronting this, and that's why I feel emphasizing the issues. I just showed my film, In Debt We Trust, in the Poconos to East Stroudsburg University. No, it's not Harvard, but the audience was packed. And you know who was there? Members of the ROTC, because military personnel are also being targeted, as well as all these students. And the local newspaper put my lecture as the lead story on page 1, because 36% of the housing in Monroe County in Pennsylvania, the beautiful Poconos, is subprime lending. And these people are just counting the days before, they're going to not be able to afford their mortgages. So this is really hitting home. It's hitting home in New York and all across America. We have to respond to it. Now, what is a program for change? Obviously, there are a lot of ideas out there to try to stop, these practices, to help bail out the homeowners in some way. And one of the ways to do it, I think, is to get the people who caused the problem to pay for some of the solutions. And that means investigate, a real investigation of the companies, the biggest banks in the world who profited from this, and try them, prosecute them. Let's put them in jail or force them to put up some money to try to help out the people who are suffering from the programs and the policies that they supported. Now, this is not a view that's been heard about much. In other words, we're not treating this as a criminal matter very much. Talk about conspiracy. We have RICO laws that allow the prosecution of the mafia. Let's prosecute the investment banks and the rating agencies and the big banks that actually, all of them had these subprime exposures. All of them were involved in predatory lending.
Well, Dan, we also have a pro-business administration that the RICO laws seem to no longer, we've opted out of the RICO laws, let's just say.
But on the state level, there is stuff we can do. Here in New York State, for example, our Attorney General, Andrew Cuomo, not a major thing, but he began to investigate student loans. He found out that major universities, the financial aid officers, were steering kids away from less expensive loans towards more expensive loans. Columbia University paid $1 million fine here in New York because they were caught with their, fingers in the cookie jar here. And so I think more efforts like this should be encouraged at the state level and the municipal level. We should ban predatory lending in New York and in other municipalities. And many mayors are trying to do that, and many governors are speaking out. I think Bush is a lost cause. I think many people in the Congress are a lost cause because the Democrats are as complicit in a lot of this as the Republicans.
Right now, I would like to take a look at In Debt We Trust. And before we take a look at the movie, could you tell us where people can get a hold of the movie and where they can find out more about it?
Yeah, this film should be shown in every community in America because it's about a debt load that affects everyone. InDebtWeTrust.com on the internet. InDebtWeTrust.com is a website that has a lot of information. We also have an ancillary site called StopTheSqueeze.org, which is an action site to try to get people to fight back against these practices. And, the film is available. All you have to do is try to get it on the air. Free Speech TV has shown it. So has Link Television, but no other network has shown it yet. And I really appreciate your being willing to call your viewers' attention to it.
Danny Schechter, thank you for joining us in the INN studios.
Thank you, Lenny.